Hi, I'm Rosco, and welcome to EV Marketplace on a Sunday night. We're cruising this evening for EV cruising on a Sunday night. I'm ready to go to the moon. Hope they're doing well out there. We're following it as well, but otherwise we're just relaxing over this long weekend and just taking it easy after an incredible month. It's absolutely amazing. We just needed a breather after all this. I've never seen so much happening in the world of EVs, and we're just trying to cruise and relax tonight and just take it easy. But we'll look back in years to come and look at this month of March, and not just because we're going to the moon, but perhaps because it's just been one of the most incredible months for EV activity. Could be a turning point, could be a tipping point. Some are picking it as a tipping point. We've seen all sorts of headlines out there from the driven as a tipping point in the EV marketplace. Well, some are predicting 20% of new car sales, some are predicting 15%. New car data's out before I get stuck into it. Of course, I'm Rosco. Welcome to EV Cruising on a Sunday night. If you're watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, or on Catch Up, we're here tonight to just cruise through the EV markets and just take a look at what's out there now, because it's an ever-changing marketplace, and sometimes we just can't keep up. But we love to keep an eye out for EV deals. And tonight we're going to look at some of the new EVs that, well, now you've got to wait 2 or 3 months for something out there. Well, perhaps we can find something on the markets that's available right now. Perhaps there's some new or some demos that are available right now. So we're going to check out tonight, just take it easy and cruise through a few markets, go through some of the more popular models and do a bit of a review of what's going on overall again, because as I say, we can barely keep up with this. The Driven have just reported in the last couple of days they think we're reaching a tipping point. That was a quote from the president of the Electric Vehicle Council. They think it might be a tipping point. This could be a turning point for new EV sales to take us from 10 to 15, maybe even 20%. Early numbers coming out from the Driven, and they're reporting all sources, including some early numbers from the EVC, the Electric Vehicle Council themselves. They're reporting that Tesla's sales are up from 3,485 for March, up from 2,854 the same month last year. Polestar's about down a little bit, but that's a big jump for Tesla. Of course, they rely on a lot of forward orders. They've got cars in stock, but just can't wait to see what happens over the next couple of months, because, of course, the Model Y was a strong performer. The Model YL already did up already in the sales charts as well. But preliminary numbers are out there, and next week, of course, we get numbers from the official sources for the rest of the market, and it will be very interesting to see. Will we get to 15? Will we get to 12, 13? Will it be closer to 20? I can't wait to see. Let me know if you've got an idea in the comments below. I can't wait to see what the new car sales are going to be like. But of course, that's meant numbers have been pushed way out. Numbers in terms of deliveries, numbers in terms of orders, time it's going to take to get a new car has been pushed way out now. And when we're starting to see mainstream media report on this, maybe as the next step, maybe they're learning as we go as well, because look, a lot of cars have been for sale in the last year or so. A lot of the new ones you might have had to order and wait a month, 2 months, 3 months. Some brands you've had to wait longer. Some brands have had stock available straight away. But 1 or 2 months hasn't been a bad deal. They're reporting it as an issue where EV purchasers wait times blow out as oil crisis spikes demand. Well, that's a good thing, and it's not the end of the world by any manner of means. It's 1, 2, 3 months. BYD reporting the C-Line 7 and 02 models, and now between 2 and 3 months. That's not too bad in the whole scheme of things. That's been a similar sort of wait time for a lot of people over the last couple of years for some of these models. Sure, some of them have had stock, particularly BYD more recently, and well reported. The AADA are reporting also in their latest newsletter late last week that reports indicate that wait times for many new EVs have entered 1 to 2 months. Not a big deal in the whole scheme of things. Of course, we thought, let's have a look at what we can buy right now for some of these cars. Let's see if there's any more popular ones available that you can get your hands on secondhand or as a demo that you can drive away next week if you want to, if you're still keen. Demand's there. Things haven't really changed that much overseas at the moment, so look, we expect this demand to continue and still stay strong. So we thought this week let's just have a look at the marketplace and take some of the more popular cars in the top 25, 30 new EVs available and just see if there's any that we could buy right now. But of course, if you are looking for a used EV, some would say, and some data that we picked up on from Facebook this week, thanks to John Hall, and I don't know John, but I did purloin this off Facebook. This is the picture of the used EV market and perhaps why there's a lack of cars everywhere. This shows just even from the 20th of March, number of cars on car sales, which is probably 90% of the market in reality and a good proxy for the overall picture. From the 20th of March, only 2 weeks ago now, a bit over 700, and that number's been closer to 800, 900, 1,000. Looking at cars, used EVs, only EVs, no hybrids, between $15,000 and $40,000. So the sweet spot, right in the sweet spot for used EVs, where we see a lot of the action in terms of some of the MGs, some of the MG4s, Tesla Model 3s, some of the cheaper BYD Atto 3s as well, some of the Model Ys, and all in that range. This is where the sweet spot is for used. Otherwise, in many cases, I guess you'd be leasing a new car or you'd be just pushing towards 50, 55 for a new EV. This was the scenario back 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now, just over 250. So clearly there's a massive drop. And again, we're starting to see a trickle come back, but across some of the markets we look across, just, virtually nothing in this range. Here at Amazing EV, of course, this show is brought to you by Amazing EV, our very own EV marketplace. We've got a couple of new listings there, and one car you can't even buy anymore, long-range Model 3, all-wheel drive 22. You can do, this one's based in the ACT, you can do Sydney-Canberra, no stops if you want to in this one. It's been a fantastic car, great condition for a Tesla Model 3 at under, just over 50,000 Ks. This is almost brand new. Again, prices are up a little bit for this as demand's increased, but this is a brilliant car. And again, what is it with blue cars and Amazing EV? We've got more than our fair share, and I love them. This one, again, just listed this week from a client I know very well. Beautiful car. Absolutely. Just taking some beautiful shots in the ACT. There's a cracker. So, again, if you want to get down to the ACT at this time of year, beautiful autumn weather through the Southern Highlands. We're based in Sydney. Great drive for an EV. By the way, if you are driving this weekend, drive safely. Be safe, and then make the most of your EV. Stop and take a scenic drive somewhere and just get out there and enjoy it. That's, after all, the main thing. Owning and driving an EV for me, still the share of joy of driving, just getting out in some of these country places. This one's in the ACT in Canberra for sale right now. So again, we are running out of stock ourselves. I can't keep track with what's still for sale at the moment. I've got to go back and have a chat to some of these owners. Bits and pieces here and there. I think that MG ZS EV is still there, just under 20 grand now. So car sales are showing 200 odd cars, 250 odd cars. Facebook's a handful now these days. Other sites like Gumtree usually double up. There's other bits and pieces. This is new, used, demo, or near new. And I think, there's some dealers have got some bits and pieces, maybe at the moment more expensive and maybe at the cheaper end still a fair few cars well above 40, but this is the sweet spot and this is where the market has been for used EVs, ticking along really nicely. And this is incredible. Given that we've been selling in the whole market around about 3,500 cars, 3,500 cars every month or so. We're on track for 35,000 a couple of months ago. Now we could be on track for 35, 40 easily. Big boost there, but of course that means lack of stock. So tonight we thought, let's go and have a look at some of the EV markets out there, see if we can find something, a demo, a near new car, anything that might fit the bill for anyone who's looking for something really good out there at the moment. And welcome, Mrs. Amazing. Nice to have you on board tonight. Thank you. It's good to see you. So, look, quiet night tonight, and we're just ticking along with a few viewers, but thanks for joining us because it's just a great chance to just unwind on a Sunday night. And I'm going through these markets anyway, keeping abreast of what's going on in the marketplace. But let's go back and just look at what the new sales look like. And again, it just gives us an interesting snapshot of what is going on. Again, the Driven do some magnificent work here. They put together these numbers. I think Giles puts them together, and they keep a really close eye on exactly what's been sold. They take the numbers from VFAX, the official numbers from the industry chamber that reports on, or they take most of the AMs. Polestar and Tesla don't report. They report to the Electric Vehicle Council. A few other brands not reporting at all yet, either. So you go farther enough down the list, and you miss a few. This covers probably 95, 99% of the market, and some very interesting numbers again in the whole scheme of things. This goes back to January, February this year. Again, February was a great month. I think we hit close to 12% on the new car side. This is just to give me a guide of where the action was, and probably where some of the main action is in terms of lack of availability or cars that you'd probably have to wait 1, 2, 3 months to get now. And let's have a look at some of these and go through some of my favorites and see if we can find some deals that are available in the market right now, and just to see if we can find something that maybe you can get a deal. And if you want to drive one away next week, you can probably find a near new one, and just see if there is anything out there. I don't go through and pre-select. I do a bit of research beforehand, but mostly I'm on the fly here, just checking things out. And let's see. So there's Tesla Model Y is still the top seller. BYD C-Line 7, and this is year to date for 2026. BYD C-Line 7, half the numbers, but still doing very strong numbers. And BYD's portfolio now is so broad that it means they're challenging Tesla month to month for total number of sales. Model 3 in there at number 3 still, which still surprises some people. It does get talked down a bit and forgotten, but and we've got to go down to the BYD Seal. It trails well behind the Model 3 this year. They were neck and neck last year. So, yeah, interesting, because they were running neck and neck. Now that's well behind. Tesla Model 3, Zeekr 7X gone gangbusters. And they've just reported another 1,000 deliveries in March. So we know they've done 1,000. They've done 1,000 to the end of Feb. And they've just reported they've done maybe 3,000, did we say, on Wednesday night. So they've done another 1,000, maybe 2,000. I'll double check that, but they've doubled that. Atto 2 come on strongly, very quickly indeed. 1,000 sales for this year, and that only just released in the last couple of months. So very popular, that Atto 2, well priced as well. EX5 still going really strongly. Nice numbers. They must be pretty happy, Julie. Very happy that they've continued and ticked away. BYD Atto 3, it still does amazing numbers. This is year to date for January, February. We haven't even had a chance to look at March for the rest of the market yet. We saw those Tesla numbers way up, 40% up on what they were last year, but can't wait to see those numbers, and we'll probably have a bit of a snapshot of those on Wednesday night. We're a used EV market, and it's a used EV forum, but we are just very keen to see which direction and how much of a boost this used market's going to get from the new sales, and because this brings into a whole lot more cars onto the market in a very short space of time. BYD Seal, again, the Atto 3 still outselling the Seal. It's amazing that BYD Atto 3 is coming up to 4 years old very soon. No changes. There's a new one mooted overseas, but that's just ticked away and ticked away and ticked away. Atto 1, not bad. J5 already done very well. Again, they've extended that drive away price for the first 1,000, 2,000. I think they've done 1,000 already, deliveries. And remember, sales are counted as deliveries, not just orders. So you can go in an order and put one down, but sales in Australia for this data and for these numbers are actual deliveries. So when we talk about a 1, 2, 3 month delivery timeline, we're talking about a pipeline of cars that's coming in and locked in till June 30 this year, which is going to boost numbers incredibly. Have a feeling that ICE sales are going to be down. Suddenly the market just doesn't grow. People don't just gravitate to EV, and on top of the ICE sales, these have come at the expense of other car sales, I think. People have made conscious decisions to bring maybe a purchase forward. We don't know exactly why. Maybe they've Maybe they were in the market, maybe they are cost conscious, maybe all the reasons we've looked at, but certainly these are sales figures that we're about to see this week, sales figures that are actual deliveries. Kia EV5, not doing too bad. MG4, that's the old model, still ticking along. Of course, there's a new MG4 out. Dolphin, yeah, still doing all right, not bad. Kia EV3, nice, again, nice. And this the perennial surprise is the B1, the Toyota BZ4X. It just, perhaps if you order as a fleet, if you order 1,000 Toyota Hiluxes, you'd get a free BZ4X thrown in as well. That's very rude of me, but that's just total speculation. I've got no basis for that whatsoever. But perhaps that's the case. Polestar 4 done really well. 307, pretty premium car, premium pricing. So MG S5 up there already. ID4 again. Amazing how many ID4s have been sold in the whole scheme of things. GWM Aura ticking along, BMW X1 ticking along, Mercedes EQA still there. So you start to get down some, and then there's the next 25 there and smaller. And some of the newer ones that have been released, still the Kona ticking along, Hyundai Alexio, again, only a month or two of sales are there. Still ticking along again. And so you get, there's a pretty long tail now. There's an extraordinary range. We know that. We've seen that. And very competitive. Fun fact, going back to this one here, I think from Riz, didn't pick that up or not. Yeah, March. Carloop picks up the data with Riz Akhtar. He picks up all the data of the actual registration state by state, as I understand it. So he's already picked up numbers for March that suggest that New South Wales EV sales are up 50%. And fun fact, ACT sales top 25% again. ACT, congratulations. ACT is a almost consistent over 20 and almost close to 25% new car penetration in the ACT, which is really encouraging to see. And they've done it again by the looks of things. So Riz is getting at data straight from the states and territories, I think. And an overall share of the existing fleet to a country-leading 5%. So, yeah, interesting again. Fun fact on the ACT: 25% of new car sales. So new cars, very interesting, very long tail there. I've lost count. Maybe 110 models, 120. New cars still coming. New models still coming. Makes it more exciting for me in the used car market because we get more breadth, more depth. More questions, more interesting comments once people start to own these cars. More questions about existing brands, established brands, service. But let's take a look, and then we're going to dive in and just see. Let's take a look at the Sea Lion 7 because, again, second highest selling EV, and I haven't done a lot of work more recently with BYD. So I want to go into the Sea Lion 7, just see if we can't find anything for sale. And we haven't had one. We haven't had many BYDs on Amazing EV. Certainly a lot of Teslas, lots of other brands. But yeah, come on, guys, more BYDs if you want to sell one. Happy to give it a go. And let's have a look. Low to high, BYD Sea Lion 7. 7 cars on car sales. Again, hail sale. 3 of those are hail sales. Dealer used hail sales in Queensland. So that's out of the question. So 3 out of the 7 on-car sales are damaged or slightly damaged. We've got one, there's a dealer, new car, and one's a new car to order. So that puts it out of the question. They've stopped advertising, really, Sea Lion 7's on-car sales, basically. There's one private sale there at 57, a premium auto at 57,900. And so we found one. If you wanted to buy it now, you're in Victoria. Looks like a genuine reason. Carbon black, really nice colour. 25 model. So it's last year. It's done virtually nothing. I think I read it. It's got 100, 200 Ks on the clock. Interesting story. I don't know the people. I don't know the background behind this one. Just checked it out first time tonight. 57. That's excluding government charges. So plus stamp duty in the state as well. We found one BYD Sea Lion 7 for sale out of the entire country that you could own now. The top, second highest selling new car, new EV in Australia, and we can find one genuine second-hand car. There's another one there with a dealer, but hard to say. 60 grand, new car to order, 67. Again, these ones on the actual BYD site through BYD. I haven't checked them out, and I don't know what the order time is on those, how long you would be waiting. But absolutely amazing. We've got one through 54,000 drive away, still on order now, nothing in stock. Again, that's the Ocean X. So you could, premium power, that's premium. Order now. If we order now, no idea. New South Wales, continue. Premium, that was the one we just looked at. Black, anything, 1,500 for extra for black. At 19-inch alloy wheels. Continue, 2,000. We'll pick it up from Alexandria, that's okay. Incentives are available. Due today, 60,000 drive away. And he was looking for, our friend on car sales was looking for, he was looking for 57,900 plus government costs. So that'd get you closer to 60 grand. So yeah, a bit of a premium on that. They know that they aren't available. There's one for a bit of a premium on you again. Let's just see how this market plays out, because just to see how long, and I'm very curious to see how long some of the prices that are up and been ramped up a little bit play out, because certainly some of these more popular models, yeah, there's not much available, and the prices have been ramped up a bit. There's no doubt about it. G'day, Hal. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying a long weekend. Just, you're having to work this weekend, so that's, yeah, good on you. Someone's got to keep the country going, so no point getting away anyway. The roads would be too busy, but seems like a lot of people stayed in Sydney, that's for sure, this weekend. There's still a lot of people around, but some quiet starts to the morning. But yeah, people are out and about as the weather's picked up a bit. So good on you for keeping the country going. So Sea Line 7, let me have a look at Tesla Model Y, just see if there's anything secondhand. We did have an inquiry from a gentleman that was going to sell, hasn't listed it yet. There wasn't one in Queensland. I'd be curious as well to see what we've got Tesla Model Y's, Juniper model. See how long you actually have to wait if you want to get one right now, if there's anything available. Because, again, very slim pickings, nothing at Tesla that we could find. Price, newest to oldest. So 100 Model Y is still for sale in Australia. And perhaps that's significant, although sample, Model Y 25 long range, all-wheel drive, dealer used, New South Wales. Certainly some bits and pieces there. 25, that's 14,000. I like that one. 25, private sale in New South Wales. Again, why wait till, see, they're all over it, these people. There's just, why wait till July or August for a new order when you can get one facelift model right now? He's loaded it up with everything, 20-inch wheels, premium paint. That's a good deal. But look at the price, 75,000, excluding government charges. In New South Wales, you can have one this week right now if you want to. You can get the best selling, maybe one of the best EVs right now in Australia if you want to. You can get it in New South Wales, 75,000. Otherwise, you wait 2 or 3 months ordering through Tesla. So he's had the ceramic coating. He's got everything, tinting, clear glass perfection, all the gear, everything. Odometer 2,821, garage, smoke-free, pet-free, barely used, no accidents, finance owing, paid out 1st of April. So this is about as new as I can possibly find for you for 75 grand. And there's still some bits and pieces out there. So remember that chart we looked at for the mid-range? This is certainly getting up to the premium end. There's going to be some price jacking in some of these Model Ys. Certainly, we noticed it in some of the ones that were probably 2 or 3 years old, but still some around that low Ks, 2,821. Another one there for 14,000 Ks. They're a bit more ambitious, trying to get 80,000. So yeah, no doubt prices are up. People are trying to take advantage now of the market and demand, and prices are up. So I just hope there's not too many people dive in, because I think there'll be a balancing between some of the prices that we've seen and some of the prices that people are trying to charge at the moment. I think this will balance itself out, and yeah, maybe there's a little bit of optimistic pricing, if I can put it that way. Some of these prices might. Let's just check on Tesla's website. I am curious to see if we check on Tesla's website. That one, what did we say? We said $75,000 plus on roads for a Model Y. Sure, that's had a lot of protection done to it. What is a Model Y at the moment? Tesla Model Y. Interesting that the OEMs themselves, Tesla Australia, have not put pricing up. So I guess that would not be a good look in this marketplace if Tesla themselves started to put some pricing up and started to. Dealers, of course, they can, other manufacturers and dealers, they've got their own discretion. But yeah, it wouldn't be a good look right now if Tesla started to put their pricing up, would it? Order now, Tesla Model Y Premium. That's the base model now, of course. Personal business, continue New South Wales. Model Y rear Premium, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 58,990 in that beautiful glacier blue, extra 1,500. We'll go the Helix. We'll go the black interior. We won't go full self-driving at the moment. Driveway price 68,275, and our friends here are trying to charge us 75,000. And he's done a bit to it, but yeah, you wait a bit, you take your chances. You pick that up in 2 or 3 months' time, or you buy right now and you pay 75. So let's move on. That was a rear-wheel drive, that one. Just double-checking that, just to make sure we're looking at like for like. Yeah, rear-wheel drive. So same, 68,274 drive away. And he's done a bit of work to it with the paint protection. Old mate here's trying to charge 79 for that's better, all-wheel drive. Yeah, that's better. That's a better deal for an all-wheel drive if you're keen. Don't think you need the all-wheel drive. For me, rear-wheel drive's been plenty. Sample, hard to, yeah, all-wheel drive, 90 grand. He's got very excited. Mr. Red, Fire Engine Red, taking some photos in the garage. Hasn't worried too much about it. Don't know this guy at all. In Victoria again, 90,000 plus on-roads, government charges there. He's done less than 1,000 K. So perhaps some people have got a bit excited and try to arbitrage this situation. Maybe they can sell now and buy back and order in 2 months' time. Maybe that bit of that's going on. But yeah, be wary. I can't see it myself. I think the window might open and close very quickly here. I will. Thanks, Hal. Yeah, Mrs. Amazing loves Port Botany. We love to get down there and watch the ships with the cars coming in. Actually, we often get down to Wollongong. I think what's that, Whyalla, and that's where most of them come in. So we do like to watch them load onto the transporter, drive up to Sydney, and that's probably a great day out for us. So that would be EV cruising and one of our Sunday drives. So there's Tesla Model Y. Nothing there. Anything you want to have a look at? Here's one out of the bag, a new one that I'm perhaps not entirely impressed with, but curious about what's going on. The Hyundai Elixio. And so Yeah, again, confusing with the Ionic because did I just go through that entire? I didn't, because I didn't go back to the. I did not go back to the screen share on that Tesla, but there it was. Tesla Model Y 68274 drive away car sales. I was looking at a couple there and forgot to go back to the screen share. Sunday night EV cruising. This was the one I was trying to show you. 75 grand. Old mate was just trying to get 75 grand for this one. A lot of paint protection, a lot of ceramic protection. And I've just spent a few minutes talking about this and not showing it. But yeah, there's a bit of arbitrage, attempts at arbitrage. Maybe they've ordered long. This one here, all-wheel drive, 90 grand. Couldn't be bothered with the photos, just took whatever he liked. And hopefully someone will just wander and buy it, pay for it, and he's already got the new model ordered out 2 months, 3 months' time. So yeah, we'll just see what happens here because I don't know if this is going to carry on for too long. I just can't see it. Can't see it extending out that far. Not sure if you got Mrs. Amazing. Did you see any? Show me. Did you see any pictures of any of the BYDs I was talking about before, or did that just all go through the keeper? Did I have the wrong screen up at that time? But I was talking about the BYD Sea Lion 7. So don't know if I even had the screen share up at the time. So never mind. We need an Easter break on a Sunday evening. I was looking at the BYD. Someone tell me if I've got Sea Lion 7. Someone tell me if I had this on the screen before. I found one private car, one private Sea Lion 7 in Victoria, 57,900. Again, the guy's done 480. That's the range. The guy's done less than 200 Ks. So this is a magnificent discount to the Model Ys that are on the market as well. That's the other thing. Second highest selling car in there. You know, this is amazing. Did I have any pictures up of BYD before when I was talking about them, or was it just that chart of the new car sales? But anyway, covered that off now. Deepals. I know I had a bit of a sniff around at Deepals. I'm curious too. Again, let's have a look because the Deepal. Let's see if there's a bargain on one of those. EO7. What's your preference, Hal? The Maxi Ute, or the SO7. So, or the EO7. SO7 drive. I've got one as a demo. 47,990 drive away. Yeah, that's not a bad price. Again, I'm not seeing many. I will go back now. Remind me to go back to this. Remind me to go back to the actual screen share page down here. Deepal EO7, they've done 64. How this year? That was up until the end of Feb. Deepal SO7. That's the Maxi Ute. Deepal SO7, 100 units this year, so far this year. So in between the Buzz and the Hyundai Insta. All right. So yeah, they had a lot of ding-dongs and a few problems with the software compatibility operation early on. But yeah, it hasn't really picked up. This will be great to see what this chart looks like. I don't see many of these around. It's probably hard to tell what they look like. It is not an easy car necessarily to recognize. Sensei had a look at this the other night and said, yeah, don't see many of these around. 47,990, that's not bad. I mean, it's for a full size, again, size-wise, Deepal SO7 compared to the BYD Sea Lion 7. Size-wise, Deepal SO7 size versus BYD Sea Lion 7. I think it's around about the same size. What do you reckon? Mr. Google tells me he's got nothing to say on that. There we go. AI overview. SO7 slightly smaller, more affordable, efficient. Yeah, only slightly smaller. So again, roughly the same size. I don't see many of the EO7s around as well. I've seen one or two. Let's see if we can find a deal on a BY on a Deepal EO7 because I haven't seen many of those around. So I'm sure you could buy one tomorrow if you wanted one. Deepal EO7 car sales. Let's have a look. 23 Deepal EO7s for sale right now. Let's see if we can find one for sale right now. Private seller, dealer demo, 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 dealer demo. So nothing private. We got anything at all? We can find one. Dealer demo, 2025. Yeah, they've got them 2,500 available for immediate delivery. 70 grand. She's up there. I think she's right up there. And it's a big unit, but again, maybe would you buy this over the Tesla Model Y? I don't know. Yeah, that's I got it. So, are you teasing yourself over this one? How you think this might be the go, the EO7? It's curious. I've seen a couple on the road. It is a curious car. It looks good. I mean, that's not. It is, I know. I've seen them at the shows. We've probably both seen it at the show, and it's good, not a bad. I can't help but like it. Would I drive it? Would I own one? Probably not. Yeah, but it's not a. I like it too. I've got a soft spot for it. They've done 170 grand drive away. Maybe I'd say they'll deal better than that. You could go in and take one away right now. There's too many available. So 68. Let's go low to high on that one. I've been waffling on for 37 minutes and we haven't even got started. We've got through 3 different brands. 69, Trivet, New South Wales Deeper. Go and put the deposit down tomorrow. They'll be open tomorrow, Hal. I'm going to move on, but I'm sure they've got one there. Drive away, dealer. Oh, that's dealer new. Yeah, dealer demo. God, you've got to be able to crunch a couple of these demos for sure. The other curious one, again, can't see it myself. Hyundai, I don't know what they're doing. I'm just curious, very curious about the Hyundai strategy here and the Elixio. What happened to the Ioniqs? I couldn't find an Ioniq 5 on this list. If anyone can see an Ioniq 5, this is the top 50 cars. I'm going to have a drink. Have a look there. Tell me if you can see an Ioniq 5. I cannot see. Yeah, I can't see. I can't see an Ioniq 5. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what. So they bring out this one. They bring out the Elixio, and still 57. And well, I can't love it yet, and not sort of shades of Ioniq, but not really. And there it is. So and 58 drive away. Contact us for stock. So maybe they've got something, maybe not. That remains to be seen. I'm sure someone's got a couple of these floating around somewhere. And then I check, well, Elixio Elite length versus the Kia EV5. And you find out that the Elite and the Kia EV5 are sister cars of identical size, both share the same. So you say to yourself, well, okay, why don't I just get a Kia EV5? 68 for 58 for a Elixio, medium size. And let's get serious and well, let's look for a Kia EV5 because I thought I saw them just discounting those more recently. So Kia, maybe Kia EV5, EV3, Kia up there, EV5 up there in the top. Can you buy an EV5? Second hand, low to high. 88 Kia EV5s. Drive away, dealer demo, dealer demo, dealer demo, private sale. Here we go. Now, sure, I guess it's not the top spec, and I'm not familiar with the although it's the air long range, so that's not bad. So 13,500 Ks, Queenslanders, air long, power windows. Now, deal, 50 grand. Brilliant. Absolutely nothing better than this one. RM Williams car seats. That's it for me. How I'm going to knock it off there. Just I'll try. I feel like just giving it up now because those are the RM Williams car seats, right? That's uh M Williams. I guess it's there you go. There are. This is it. If you want one, 50 grand plus transaction costs in Queensland. So yeah, I'm sure you can get one closer, but Kia just seem to be going from strength to strength at the moment. I'm not sure where they're at with it. So I want to just, we'll have a quick look at a couple of others, but I've thought on too much about. And of course, Stan's not with us tonight. Is he on his way to China yet? I don't think so. But Zika, they've had some brilliant delivery numbers. Can you buy a Zika 7X second hand yet? Can you buy one? Low to high. Is there anything? 3, nothing. Not one for love nor money. On order. New car to order. New car to order. New car. No way. Sorry. Cannot buy Zika 7X. Not even close. There's no doubt some there's no doubt some Xpeng. Let's just see what is going on with Xpeng G6s. Just see how the market's reacted in the last week or so. Of course, Xpeng put out that release on the 1st of April, which could have been an April Fool's joke to say that Xpeng corporate had taken over and what was gangbusters. They were committed to service customers and dealers, and that they were in charge from now on. They were establishing a new network. So I have no idea what happens to all the old cars. I would say you could still grab one dealer used, $1,600 for 53. Yeah, that's it. You could get one for 50 grand. I think maybe if you wanted to take your chances and take a risk on, again, this is a brilliant car for 50 grand. Again, the Model Y competitor, 7X competitor, new one's out in China already, but for 50 grand, that's the money, no doubt. I think that's you want to take a chance on Xpeng. Yeah. Which one do you want, Hal? You can have a finder's fee, that's fine. But G6, yeah, I think that might be you might be taking a chance. 24 model, done 14 Ks, Queensland 52. So could be a few people. I'd say there'd be some deals on some G6s. There's no doubt about that. Not a lot of movement at the top end of the market. We're just going to stay in that reasonable spot. I wanted to have a look at MG4s. Of course, the new one's coming out. MG4 is still up there in terms of sales. And then I'll just switch back to another BYD, MG4, because I have a sneaking suspicion that the new MG4 is so cheap at 30 odd grand for the base model. They've got themselves in a bit of a pickle, MG, because they've got to sell a few demos and a few other bits of stock that are floating around. Dealer used 2,000 Ks, 30 odd grand. But they're advertising the new MG4 for close to 30 grand, 31 grand as well. The pricing is absolutely extraordinary. So I think there might be a bit of a squeeze on these ones, 23, 24. The dealer used, these were 40 grand 2 weeks ago. That's up 45, dealer demo. What's the cheapest MG4 I can find? Low to high. Anything private? 80, still 80 MG4s. That's not a bad price, 30 grand. There it is there. And this is the problem MG are going to have, and I think great for customers because there's the brand new one, the base model for sure, Excite 51, but there they are, back to back. Direct comparison there. 24 model, Excite 51, 26 Ks. It was rear-wheel drive, the old one, which was nice. Range 350. Brand new one, totally different style, new look. Drive away 31990. Yeah, it's almost exactly the same price. North Shore MG, so front wheel drive, probably a better battery, some slightly better specs. This is the problem MG have got. But what a good problem to have, because there's going to be a few MGs floating around shortly that will be dropping in price again. And yeah, everyone seems to be. I mean, there's been, look, if you've got Apple CarPlay or you get Android Auto and you just plug it in, I think you get over the most of the issues about MG4s. They've just ticked away. It's been a cheaper car and a budget car, but it was one of the first, one of the best that we saw 3 or 4 years ago at Everything Electric when it was still at Homebush when it was released. But that was late 80, no, 22. And yeah, we had one for a week. It was cool. It was funky. It had the X Power. The new one's growing on me. It's certainly not the car that's the cool, funky little, but the MGs don't sell in China. I think Robert Llewellyn's got the old MG4. They do well in England and the UK, but they don't sell in China at all. SAICs. So this one, again, this is going to be an interesting problem to have. Do you go the old one or do you go the new one? And let's just finish up on one more that I like and has done really well. Again, any more requests? I'll take requests for your loyalty. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Has been a great car. I'll get rid of the RM Williams seats, and I want to have a look at the Geely EX5 and just maybe finish off with that because they are going really well. EX5. Is there anything floating around? McCarroll's up at Tarman and Sydney have done really well selling them. Dealer demo. Is there anything you could go and buy tomorrow? And I've seen a few on the road. And they look pretty funky. Black looks good. Not a bit. And there's a new sport version, I think, coming out as well. They funked it up. The Stellantis one, the C10. Geez, I can't remember my own all 30 or 40 brands at the moment. But Geely EX5 2025. Let's Victoria private sale. Here we go. Look at that. So that hasn't taken off too much. Still some value there. 15,000 Ks. 45, probably late 40s on the road. That's photography doesn't quite do it justice. What do you think of the Geely Hal EX5? It's I'm not averse to it. Again, probably as a little handy little town car. Selling due to upgrade to Tesla, autonomous driving. Not a bad price. One thing to note, I think, on that, selling privately, you will still get a much better price than you will trading in. Some of the trade-in values have not quite reflected some of the more optimistic pricing that people are trying for on the private seller sites. The dealers have not upped their game in terms, and Tesla certainly haven't upped their game in terms of trade-in. So they're not desperate to get stock yet, and they're not too worried if people don't trade with them. They'd be happy to take the new sale and just move on and not have to deal with the trade. Part of the game. Of course, the used market will run out of trade stock and they'll need the used EVs shortly as well. We ourselves at Amazing EV are short of stock. And again, anyone wants to list, it's free to list at the moment. Use the coupon in the description down below, Amazing EV, to list for nothing. And we'll do as much as we can to get the word out there. Still cars for sale, still bits and pieces for sale. But I quite like, again, Geely EX5. Nice car. That's Victoria. That's not bad. 40 grand excluding government charges. That's not a bad car at all. Not a bad car at all. And I must go for a drive in this one. We'll go out and have a look at it. Geely. That's not bad. A private sale here. A little bit more optimistic. 41 grand. Again, I think these are still 45, close to 50 on the road. So that for 5,000 Ks, there's a deal. That represents good buying. No doubt about that. Let's just see, finally, if you can get an Atto 3. Oh, there's two I wanted to look at before I've done 50 minutes. I wanted to look at the one more BYD just to see if there is any Atto 3s. It's still selling really well. New. Has been doing really well on the used EV market. We don't get many listings. They come and they go very quickly, even before. And there's a Victorian one, 2023. 2023 Atto 3 done 100,000 Ks for $35,000. Now, that's an extended auto. That must be the long range. But what's the cheapest Atto 3 I can find? K's low to high. Let's see the newest Atto 3. There's only 18 of them. Again, this is incredible, really. 18 Atto 3s across the country. Dealer, private. That looks like a private sale, brand new BYD for sale, ready for name transfer prior to pickup. Okay, so they're trying to sell an order. Tricky, but yeah, again, look at the price, 54 grand. That makes no sense. None of that makes sense because he's got 2023. So we'll move on. 2025, that's better. Victoria, 15,000 Ks, almost new in EV terms. Test drive. What's the lowest low to high? New car to order. Private. Victorian. That's it there. 43 for 23,000. So again, yeah, a little bit optimistic because I know that these were under 40 grand. There's no doubt about that. Extended auto. But yeah, getting on a bit. And there's a new one out in China due to a quick sale, reduced the selling price. Yeah, from what? And I don't know any of these people. So no pets, no smoker. Brand new, almost brand new showroom. Nice car, but yeah, up a bit, 10% from what it was a couple of weeks ago. And I tell you what's doing really well, the JQJ5, but yeah, I can't see any of those being for sale. My lucky last, my perennial favorite. Let's see if we can find a bargain on a Toyota BZ4X. There's got to be something out there. I want to love Toyota. I can't yet. They're going gangbusters in the States. Check out what's in the States. There's cars, there's models of all sorts. There's 4 or 5 models in the States. There's 4 or 5 different EVs and Subarus in the States. I do like the new Mazda, by the way. The CX-E, that's a nice looking car. For brand loyalty, the Subarus and the Mazdas, I think, will do really well because they're pretty funky. Check out what's happening in the States. There's a couple of really nice Subarus coming, and some amazing power, good style, Toyota-ish, but more Subaru, I think. The old BZ4X, a name that only a mother could love. Honestly, Toyota, if you wanted everything else, Celica, Chimera, anything else, Camry, but no, you had to call your firstborn EV a BZ4X, which was bound to be popular with EV buyers. Lowest price, lowest Ks. I don't know who's buying these. They came up in the sales charts. It's still up there. Toyota BZ4X, 393 sales, just behind EV3. The power of Toyota, unbelievable. The power of Toyota, sometimes it is quite amazing. The cheapest, the lowest car to order. Don't tell me you can't buy a BZ4X. This is the new upgraded one. It is a bit tidier in the front and around the side there. No doubt about that. 25. 24. Dealer used. 60 grand. There it is there. In WA, no image. 61. Dealer demo. That's not the revised model. Dealer used. Anything private there. Special offers. New or used. Body type. Dealer finance. Seller details. Private. 4 private BZ4Xs. The rest with lovely, good, loyal Toyota dealers. 2024. Queensland 9,000, 9,021. There it is. WA, we'll leave it on that tonight. They're only 2 hours behind now. Thank goodness for that. We've finished daylight saving. Thanks for joining me tonight. It has been a fascinating look around. There's a Toyota BZ4X, I think old model, done for 57,000. You can't even get a deal or a bargain. These were 40 grand about 3 weeks ago for a 23, 24. No one could buy one for love nor money. Now you can't get your hands on one. Unbelievable. Well, that wraps up. What an incredible market. What an incredible week it's been. I'll go back. What an incredible market and incredible week it's been. Hope you have a relaxing rest of the long weekend. We'll keep an eye out and we'll see you back on Wednesday night where I've got my good mate Dave Power, who's owned a couple of EVs for 2 or 3 years now. Maybe some of these new EV owners are going to want some tips on maintenance and what to look out for and just, well, what exactly EV ownership's like. So we've got Dave in to share his experiences on Wednesday night. But thanks for joining us. I can barely keep up with this market. There's some surprises there, but overall, our conclusion, hard to find deals out there. Everyone's jacked their prices up, even on some nearly new cars. So put your order in for one, the existing price, well, they hold, but never a dull moment in the used EV market. So thanks for joining us for some EV cruising on a Sunday night. I'm Rosco, and we'll see you next week.